Alright, you lot. Welcome back to Gaming Hellwire, where weekend silence dies screaming and Monday gets dropkicked through news desk. Today we're diving into Battlefield, Art Raiders, and Mexico trying to tax your kill streaks. There's no filters here, so let's get into it. Battlefield 6 just handed players a sandbox, and they immediately turned it into a bot-choking XP gulag. Portal mode were meant to be this mad playground for custom matches and community creativity. But guess what? Turns out when you let internet off leash, they don't build fun. They build farms. XP farms. Bot stuffed, stat padding, grind evading XP sweatshops. And now it's so overrun, devs are scrambling like they've caught fire and sat down. Devs just admitted it. All community servers are clogged up with people farming bots for XP and attachments. You want to try proper community med server? Tough. There's a 300 slot queue and every single one is kill 50 bots with a knife and unlock your gun faster. Progression's been so bloody slow in this game they practically invited it. The down unlock grind so masochist and now act shocked when people skip it. What do you think could happen, Einstein? You make unlock scopes feel like a second job and expect players just to smile through it. Now they're patching it with fire hose. They're tweaking XP from matches, lowering early unlock grind, resetting custom servers, full wipe and reload. Legit creators? Sod off. Your quirky knife-only horseback mode just got nuked so devs can clear XP bot slums. Meanwhile, Reddit's doing what Reddit does best, screaming into abyss. One lad posted screenshot of every portal server being called Lobbybot 11 XP full easy rush and said, server queue's full? No kidding. And best part, none of this is new. It's same dance every time. Publishers design grind-heavy systems to boost playtime stats and engagement. Players look for exploits ruin system, devs act surprised. It's like watching a toddler touch hot stove every year. So yeah, Portal mode had promise, but Battlefield handed keys to a community that treats every feature like a cheat engine, and that sandbox smells like burnt server grease. They wanted chaos, mission accomplished. Just untaxed surprise when freedom turns into free-for-all XP buffet with 12,000 bot corpses per minute. Art Raiders just booked bloody magic trick. One weekend play test and boom, most popular extraction shooter on Steam. Nearly 190,000 players logged in. Shot some robots, legged it to evac, and somehow that's enough to crown it king at genre. Except, here's the thing, I played it and I had more fun scraping chewing gum off my boot. Now I'm not going to piss on everyone's chips. If you enjoyed it, great. But let's be honest, that has been so low in extraction space lately you could trip over it. Tarkov's still there, but it's up to its eyes in wipe cycles and menu lag. Cycle Frontier, dead in orbit. DMZ, more like DUN mate. So when Art Raiders comes barging in with fresh servers, a shiny quarter RTX polish and some free weekend fumes, of course it grabs attention. It's only one still breathing. SteamDB numbers don't lie. It peaked higher than most of its rivals have in months. But here's where Yorkshire skeptic kicks in. Is this hype or hunger? Are we calling it most popular cause it's actually great, or just cause no one else bothered to show up to bait? Embark Studios, bless them, they're coming out of finals. So we know they can make games that look mint, but Ark's gameplay look bit flat, bit floaty. Extraction needs tension, not just flashy gunplay and robot mobs that sound like an air fryer having a stroke. Combat ain't gripping and stakes aren't scary, you're just playing Borderlands with extra steps. Reddit's already torn. Some love potential, others, like me, find out flash, no hook. That's mood a cautious optimism wrapped in deja vu. We've been here before. Glorious numbers, loud weekend, then a silent player base wondering why they bothered to download 70 gig. Bottom line, Art Raiders might be Steam's current extraction champ, but that crown's made of tinfoil till we see how it survives real launch. If they can keep momentum, fair play. If not, it'll be just another spike on chart next to 5 dead clones and a dev blog full of excuses. So yeah, hype responsibly, kids. Right, here's one straight from Coffin Occult Horror. Dementium Ward is crawling out to its DS grave and slithering onto PC this Halloween. That's right, a 2007 Nintendo DS game, born on 2 bloody screens and played by kids under covers, is now getting a full Steam release on 27th of October. And I love it. But also, what actual hell? This thing's definition of handheld fever dream. An amnesiac lad wakes up in a monster-riddled hospital with naught but flashlight and a pint, and you try not to die while wandering grim corridors. On DS it were wild, for its time scary as sin. but now it's strapping into modern PC rig, swinging against horror beasts with Unreal engines and full body physics. You better hope that flashlight's been upscaled to RTX levels, mate. Let's not pretend here. Remastered or not, it's still got DS bones under polish. You can slap on some higher res textures and smoother frame rates, but original design were made for stylus taps and tiny speakers. Now it's expected to deliver horror on machines powerful enough to simulate nuclear detonation in Blender. And here's where PC angle kicks in. PC horror lives and dies by attention pacing, input responsiveness, and performance. This ain't Switch. If there's input lag, it's trash. If sound design don't fill your headphones with dread, it's dead in water. We expect our horror to feel like it's crawling into our veins. Can a glorified DS game do that, even with some nice upscaling? Then there's competition. PC's flooded with horror now. Everything from AAA nightmares like Alan Wake 2 to indie brain melters like Iron Lung. And let's not forget Silent Hill 2's remake looming like a bloated corpse in fog. In that lineup, Dementium's walking in with a torch and some nostalgia. It'll need more than a remaster to stick landing. Still, credit where it's due. There's charm here, there's atmosphere, and sometimes lo-fi horror is more terrifying than all shiny engines. We'll see. But if you boot this up and first enemy AI pathfinding glitches into the ceiling, don't say I didn't warn you. So yeah, retro horror season, lads. Prepare for flickering lights, creaky footsteps, and DS era jump scares trying to hold their own in a 144Hz world. Right, let's talk about Mexico's government. They've decided that violent games, ones with guns, gore and grit, need to be taxed at 8% because apparently they're now in the same category as cigarettes, booze, and fizzy drinks. That's not satire, that's not a misread, that's actual legislative bollocks on the table. Congratulations, lads, you've officially taxed fun. They're calling it a public health tax, claiming violent games cause aggression, isolation and anxiety. I've got anxiety, right? From watching government still pulling games make you violent line like it's a fresh off Daily Mail front page from 2004. These clowns are trying to solve mental health issues with spreadsheet and a receipt. And here's a bit that should worry every gamer from Leeds to Los Angeles. If Mexico pulls this off, and their bean counters start seeing pesos stack up, other countries will follow, like digital dominoes are done. UK would be 2 headline cycles away from doing the same. Minister for Culture proposes 10% tax on digital violence, claims Call of Duty made his kid call him a nonce. Don't laugh, you know it's plausible. Games are already expensive. Your average AAA title's clocking at 60 quid, plus season pass, plus cosmetics, plus expansions. Now imagine slapping a "this game made someone frown" tax on top of that. Suddenly you're paying a tenner more just cause there's a knife animation in tutorial. And it doesn't just shaft players, it strangles developers, especially indie teams. Big studios can absorb that 8% hit or pass it on to players. But smaller devs, they have to raise prices, risk losing sales, or worse, censor the content. So now you got not just higher prices, but a chilling effect on what games even dare to be. One more excuse for grey market keys and piracy. And all cause some pencil pusher thinks Hotline Miami made Timmy throw a tantrum. Yeah, it's just textbook moral panic dressed up as fiscal policy. It's idiotic, it's insulting, and it's dangerous. We let one country slide this through, rest won't be far behind. Taxing violence in games? Nah mate, you're just taxing what you don't understand. Well, that's your dose of gaming chaos for today. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Drop your comments and questions below with a snarky twist. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.